matter of fact, she yelled at me and my brothers a lot. So we sort of learned to be loud ourselves. How many of you guys know what the game of football is? Right? Okay, so if the ball goes out of bounds, play stops, right? Well, sure it does. Who said no? How are you doing today? You can pick that up for me. It actually contains some nasty chewing gum. It needs to be discarded. Alright, so in the game of football, when the ball goes out of bounds, play stops. So whenever there's a conversation or a dialogue or a monologue, which is what this is going to be, if there's like other talking or poking at your friend or whatever, yeah, the play stops. And because I have ADD in the worst kind of way, I'm like, so it's just not good. I'm here today because I want to talk to you guys about something y'all. Nice catch. There really is a piece of nasty chewing gum in here. I know, right? But it's a healthy piece of tissue. What I want to talk to you guys today is about a program that we've been doing at Dyer County High School for a couple of years now. How many of you guys are going to go to Dyer County High next year? Okay. For the sake of not leaving anybody out, is anybody going to Dyersburg High next year? Oh. Just so you know, we're going to be at Dyersburg High School next year too, and it's going to be our first year at Dyersburg. So we're going to be at both of your options. At Dyer County High School, Houston, it's called Learn Block, right?
Yes.
Yes. We meet on Thursdays during Learn Block from 11 to 11:45. We're a group called Right Choices. Does anybody have it on their t-shirt? No, it doesn't say that. It's that little tiny logo. Y'all say, hey, Houston. Hey, Houston. Y'all say, hey, Taylor. Hey, Taylor. Where's Olivia? Still running copies. And Xavier has my phone. If he breaks it, it's going to be over for him. Y'all say, hey, Xavier. Hey, Xavier. These guys help me out with this program called Right Choices. And what they are, we call them peer mentors. In other words, these guys, they're folks who's decided, you know what, I want to try to help somebody that was just as messed up as me when I was a ninth grader. So what is Right Choices? Here's the best way I know to explain what Right Choices is. I had two friends in 8th grade. We played a lot of basketball together. We played summer ball together. We traveled all over the Southeast together playing basketball, even during the summer. Alex, my buddy that was about 5'8", if you know anything about running the 40, Alex ran the 40 in 4.2.5, which is insanely fast. Alex ran the mile in 5:09. Alex was ridiculously quick. He was athletic to the core. Brother didn't have an 8-pack, he had like 18-pack. It was insane. Right? He could flat out run. We'd throw the ball ahead of the crowd, and Alex would beat everybody there on the lob and hit you a layup off one or no dribbles on the other end of the court. It was awesome. My buddy Derek, who actually got cut from his 9th and 10th grade basketball team in high school, grew about 7 or 8 inches between his 10th and his 11th grade year. He finished high school at 6'9". And today, Derek's doing something really cool with his life. Now, Alex, on the other hand, Alex isn't doing so well with his life. And I'm going to tell you what they're doing with their lives in just a few minutes. But before I get to that, I want to tell you about the choices that they made to lead up to where they are today. How many of you already realize that the habits that you have in place right now will affect you 5-10 years from now? How many of you realize that? Okay, the problem is you're not 100%. Okay? That's the problem. That's the grand epidemic. You're not 100%. not all of you realize that the choices that you make today, will impact your life 5, 10 years from now. Other side of high school, other side of college, on into your adult years. I look back and the choices that I made in high school, they've shaped my life and made me who I am right now. I see that in the way that I parent. I'm a father. I have 2 kids. I see that in the way I'm a husband. I'm a wife. We've been married for 10 years and been together for 15. All right? So who you are and what you're doing right now will affect you. Let me tell you about Alex, the really fast kid. Both Alex and Derek, we went to one set of projects to pick Alex up. We went to another set of projects to pick Derek up, my hometown. Okay? And they went to another set of projects to pick me up. All right? So, Alex started just getting really mean. He didn't want to hang out with us when we would travel. We would sit at McDonald's or we would sit at some all-you-can-eat buffet somewhere. Alex became a jerk, man. It was not friendly at all. On the court, it was all about him and that little broke 15-foot jumper he thought he had. I mean, really, the kid could run, but we wanted to hit him on a layup, not at 15 feet. It was ugly. It was not pretty at all. Okay? He just started disconnecting himself from us. He started disconnecting himself from my best friend, Bo, and his dad, Steve. Bo and Steve, who happened to be best man in my wedding when I got married 10 years ago. And Alex he started separating, and before too long, we hear that Alex may or may not be involved in drugs. And then Alex quits our Summer League AAU basketball team, and Alex pulls away from that. And then before too long, I see Alex as a 9th grader driving a really nice car for a 9th grader, and then I start hearing that Alex is selling drugs. The last thing I heard about Alex was that he may or may not be the father of 3 or 4 children, and that he's doing 2 consecutive life sentences in the state penitentiary in Alabama, which is my home state. Okay. That's the choices that Alex made. He pulled away from the right people, and he started just totally screwing up his life with the wrong people. He started making really crappy decisions. To this day, I love Alex. I would love to be able to tell you a positive story about Alex. I would love to be able to tell you that he took his speed and his athleticism and he went on and maybe he qualified for the Olympics or a select team that competes against the Olympic team or something. I would love to tell you that Alex is coaching track and field at some high school or something, but the problem is it's just not true. It's just not true about Alex. Alex took his life, made some terrible choices, now he's in prison. I'll tell you about Derek. Derek, when we first met him, I'm not dogging my boy out at all. Love this dude. He's walking out of the end of his tennis shoes. All right? He's as broke as I was. He only had his mom in his life just like me. Only had my mom in my life. And Derek's walking, he's carrying this half-flat basketball, walking out of the end of his tennis shoes. He's about 6'1", and he's got this insane dip in his head, like, I don't know, like they took a hammer and made a valley in the middle of it. Now that we did dog him about, because it was pretty jacked up. Even to this day, it's still there. It's like, Alex, come on. We called him Old Swole Head. And a lot of other things that I can't say here. But you know what the neat thing about Derek was? Derek and I, you know when you're playing basketball, sometimes it can get really physical. And if you're on the block, you know, if you're posting up and if you're trying to get a rebound or something and you can elbow one another or push one another or just slap running. Derek and I competed harder against each other than anybody else, at least I've ever competed against. We win at each other. The problem was is when 11th grade rolled around, I couldn't hang with Derek because he's 6'7". He never lost his first step. He stayed our boy. Steve kept coaching him and kept pouring into him. He kept hanging around with us. Not that there was anything special about us, except we were just a group of folks who were trying to get life right. We were just a group of folks who didn't want to, wake up one day and life beat them. We were a group of folks who, we didn't really run around to a lot of parties and stuff. We didn't really chase a lot of girls. We had girlfriends, but it wasn't all like some of you folks. Some of you folks are crazy. Here's the thing.
It's Dyer County, John.
I'm not even joking. Some of you guys, some of you folks, you're totally codependent on some guy or some girl in 8th grade. That is major issue. Derek, we hung around each other, and you know what Steve taught me and Bo and Derek to be? He taught us to be men. He taught us to be independent. He taught us to be able to stand up and speak for ourselves. He taught us to work hard. He taught us the value of friendship and camaraderie and team. Steve taught us so much. I owe so much to my best friend's dad, Steve. I'm so thankful that he took the time to speak into our lives and to be our friend. Derek went on, he kept playing ball, and before you know it, letters started coming in. There's a college, there's a 2-year school in Alabama called Union, not the one like in Jackson. Derek went to Union, spent 2 years there. Derek spent the next 2 years at Ole Miss. Derek's been in Germany playing pro ball for the last 11 years. Derek makes about $350K a year. He lives in one of the nicest houses I've ever seen. He has a collection of high-end luxury cars. And he's engaged to a beautiful woman. And I'm like, I'm so happy to tell you what has happened to my friend Derek. And I'm so sad to tell you what has happened to my friend Alex. But see, guys, here's the thing. Come next year in Dyer County, every one of you have an opportunity that's equal. Every one of you get a clean slate. Every one of you get a fresh start. Every one of you get another opportunity to get it right. But here's the scary thing. This may be one of the last times in your life, even when you graduate high school and move on to college, because the high school stuff follows you. This may be one of the last times in your life to get a brand new clean start. To have everything scrubbed off your slate. There's a lot of you who need this opportunity. That's why our program exists. You guys are becoming sexually active earlier than ever. You guys are becoming involved in drugs earlier than ever. Here's the problem, guys. It's your life. It's your life you're jacking with. And there's nothing at all cool about it. Nobody ever wakes up in high school or their freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year and think, oh, I want to be a bum when I grow up. Yes! I get to hold that sign in the hot heat all day long. We'll work for food. With a beard that long, and I stink to high heaven. That's nobody's ambition. If it is your ambition, come talk to one of these guys later. We will get you psychiatric help. Okay? Now, we all want to figure out what it means to be successful in our lives. If you've got a mom or a dad, or you're fortunate enough to have both, yeah, they get on your nerves, but don't you want to grow up and be a person that your mom and dad can be proud of? If you've got an older brother or younger brother or sister or whatever, do you want to be the person at the family reunion who's driving up in the beater? No. Hey, you want to be the person who's figured out how to get it right. And look, you guys are starting to get away and fixing to throw my nasty gun at you. I want to tell you this, and this is what we're going to close on. Life isn't all about getting the perfect job or the highest salary. I was just listening to a song by Switchfoot that says, "Happy is a yummy word." And the bottom line is, if you know what that means, it's true. Happiness is when I get to look my wife in the eyes at night before we go to bed and kiss her and hug her and say, "Baby, I love you." Happiness is when I get to tuck my kids in and I look at them and we sit down and we go through our thing together and we spend that time together. And happiness is when my 6-year-old or my 9-year-old boy, they're like ninjas when I walk in home, like when I walk in home in the afternoon, and they like try to tackle me or they start trying to beat me with a sword. That's happiness, guys.
It is true. It is so true.
That's happiness. Happiness is when my 6-year-old is like hanging on my leg and I'm like, all right, look. That's happiness. Happiness is the ability to get up and to be able to work and produce and to contribute to society and not be a leech on society. Happiness is being able to stand up for what you believe in and clearly articulate it so that everybody else will know that you're contributing to where you are. There are so many issues in the country. Are you going to be a person who contributes or are you going to be an issue? There's two ways you can go in life. Are you going to be the problem or are you going to be the answer? We exist to help you be the answer. So as you guys are getting ready to walk out and leave, Olivia, say hey, Olivia. Hey. Her dad is Mr. Jones, by the way. I just learned that, didn't I? He's a big man, ain't he? Yeah, he scares me.
Hey, John.
Listen, Mr. Jones.
John, turn your video.
Freaking out. These guys have a